found a whole bunch of things that I wanted to comment on. So
well, we're
it's
gonna do
chock full
it.
of goodness. I finally looked at the lyrics for "Take Me Back."
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know because Rocky like forgot the lyrics on that song, but we're live now.
Yeah.
Is anyone watching this?
Just 1 second. There we go. I set a mute. Yeah, we got one person. Let's see. I think we got one person watching. Let me check it out here. Yeah, we're on. We're live. I like to make it natural when we start. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like to while we're talking. I didn't want you to notice because I wanted you to just keep talking. So you were saying though, what were you talking about? The lyrics to Take Me Back. Go ahead, start talking about that.
Oh well, in that scene, he like he only can sing like the first couple verses and then forgets.
All right.
And
Okay.
then,
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. But before we get there, let's just do our hellos. Hey, welcome everybody. This is Going the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast, or the Rocky Series podcast, Going the Distance. Let me just do the what do you call it? House cleaning or
housekeeping.
Housekeeping thing. House cleaning. I'm tired. Housekeeping at the beginning of the show. So, as you all know, this is the YouTube channel. This is the YouTube video, and the audio edited version will come out in about 2 weeks. But if you're watching this now, you don't have to listen to the podcast, so that's fine too, because you're listening to the podcast on YouTube. So basically, you can listen to us on YouTube. But if you want to listen to us on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe. I'm not sure where it is on the YouTube, but it says subscribe. And when you subscribe to our channel, you'll get alerts saying, "Hey, they're live," and or we have a new video up.
And you can hear us in the raw, folks, before Ryan edits out all my cursing and stuff that's inappropriate. So you get like the real version here if you listen to it now.
That's true. That's actually, Kyle brings up a good point. Sometimes we tell maybe an off-color joke, a little bit of blue humor here and there, and the audio version you could say is pretty PG. Pretty PC and PG. We're a little bit more loosey-goosey when it comes to the YouTube. We're not, we don't nothing that terrible, but maybe some of our jokes are a little bit off, a little bit not too PC. It might come out naturally as we talk, which I have the luxury of editing when we're not live, which goes for anything. Anything that's live, it's kind of like, sometimes stuff just comes out of your mouth.
But I can't show my penis though, right? We talked about that.
That's great. Well, I believe that's actually YouTube rules.
Yeah, but they noticed that in all the videos, Ryan.
That's true. Hey, 1 second, Kyle. For some reason, the person who's not talking is not being shown again. I don't know why it does that. I don't know how it decides. So let me just try something, cameraman. That's weird. I don't know why last time it showed the videos and this time it's not.
Are you talking to me? I can't. Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, but then I lost your camera. I've totally messed things up here. Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done?
Well, 1 sec.
I hear you, but I don't see you.
Hold on.
No, I'm gone.
I deviated from the page. I was going to send a text, and then, okay. Fuck.
There you are. Okay, so you're there, but I'm not there. Oh, you're gone again.
I keep trying to get back on, and it says I'm already in a call.
Okay.
And I push OK, and then it sends me away again. So I don't know.
Let me try something.
I might.
People are watching this disaster. This is why I love. This is why I love live. You know, anything can happen. We officially start at 9:30, which is now. Let's see if we can figure this out. What I can do is I think I. Oh wait. So why am I not being shown? That's what I want to know. So what
I can't actually see you or anything.
Okay, I'm going to hang up this call. I'm going to hang up this call.
Okay.
And I think we can re-invite ourselves, so just stand by. Just stand by.
Okay.
No. Continue broadcast.
Oh, here we go.
There, you're in it, but I'm not in it. But you can hear me.
I could see you and hear you.
Oh, really? Okay, let me just look at the YouTube feed. Sorry to our one viewer there, what's going on, but yeah.
You can watch us screw up there.
Okay, but I'm not coming up on the YouTube channel. Dope! Here I was trying to be all clever and everything, and I'm messing everything up.
All right. That one viewer isn't you, right?
Oh, we got 2 viewers now. Well, they see just you, even though you see me. So let me just... why am I not being shown here? Can you see me now?
I could see you the whole time.
Okay.
Still see you. I've seen you before. I've seen you now. This is going to be my new face.
Okay. There we go. Can you see me? Everyone can see me?
Yeah.
All right. Hey. All right. I think we got our technical difficulties worked out here. Can you still hear me, Kyle? That's all that matters.
Sure can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, welcome, everybody. We got one person watching. Hang in there. This is the Rocky Series podcast going this. I did all that stuff already. We got Kyle with us. My brother Ruben may not be on tonight after all. He's with his daughter at a dress rehearsal for a play that they're doing. Unfortunately, it's just taken a lot longer than he anticipated, but he may pop in later. So without further ado, cue the music. Right. Good job, Kyle. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem. You could. I'm giving you the rights to that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You could use it anytime.
All right.
So let's get into this mother effer.
All right. So Kyle, why don't you start? Let's talk about. Sorry, 1 second. Just to give me a 1, 2, 3. Count to 10 for me for a second, because you're not coming up on the screen now. What have I done? Only 1, I'm there.
2, 3, 4, 5. What comes after 5? 6.
Yeah.
7, 8. Whatever. No one cares about me anyways. So they could just hear me.
Well, they just hear you, but that's no fun.
Oh, shit.
All right. Say something now. Count to 10 one more time.
Okay. Ryan, I'm talking and counting to 10, and no one can hear me.
Why are you not coming up on the screen? This is terrible. This is the worst episode ever. All because I was trying to show how awesome it is. I can change camera angles or whatever, but I've hidden you in the process. Oh, well.
You know, whoever is watching this, if they haven't given up yet, if they're 16, they're probably like, who are these 2 old guys that can't figure out how to get a podcast working?
Well, the important thing is...
they don't know the technology.
The important thing is they can hear us. I think I might have figured it out. I think we're good to go. Okay, so Kyle, go ahead and let's talk about where we left off last time was, Paulie and Rocky had the big fight in the garage. Paulie literally was punching Rocky in the arm. He asked for a job. Rocky said, all you have to do is ask. And the next scene is the infamous Rocky and Adrian on the bed scene. Let's talk about that.
So we learn about Rocky here. Not only is he a good boxer, but he's also a vocals coach. So
What do you play
first
that?
you see. Well, first I want to back up a little bit. In this scene, you first see where Rocky lives. I think you don't see that before. You might, I don't know, maybe in that beginning scene you might see a little bit, but you see his house. You see they show a full shot of his house. He lives in a really gigantic mansion. I don't know how many square feet that thing is, but it's certainly an improvement over the steel frame and solid oak floors of the house in Rocky 2. So Rocky's obviously making some bank. They're in his swanky bedroom with the cushioned headboard.
Yes.
Rocky's looking pretty.
It's a beautiful house. You're absolutely correct. That's a good point. This is we saw scenes during that opening montage of Rocky 3. We saw the Christmas and birthday, but we never saw an outside shot of the house. So it definitely is a huge mansion, very swank. Rocky is moving up in the world. His family is living the high life, absolutely living the high life.
So maybe you could understand a little bit why Paulie was pissed because he's living in that crap hole in South Philly. So, anyways, so you see Rocky laying there in bed with Adrian. Rocky doesn't have his shirt on. He's looking ripped.
Yeah, I love that.
I think he has like the 2% body fat.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's their first kind of intimate moment that we've had with these two. I mean, we had them kissing on their first date, and then we had them, when they got married, they kiss and spoke at each other. Yeah. But now we see that Adrian's very comfortable. We see now that Adrian's very comfortable with a half-naked Sly in the bed there, and still looking very ripped and chiseled.
2% body fat. She's digging that. She's no complaints.
And Adrian, this is where we first get the first hint of what's to come after this scene. Adrian asks, "Are you really going to fight that wrestler?"
He's none too worried. But she first asks if there's any problems with Paulie, which I think we talked about last episode.
Sure, but touch on that again.
Well, Rocky says, nothing unusual, which probably isn't a lie. This crap probably happens with Paulie on a fairly regular basis. We know at least one time when he was swinging a baseball bat at them and their relationship survived that. So, there's probably lots of moments in the at time where Paulie does crazy things like that. So, yeah, she probably didn't know there was a fist fight, but some sort of drama.
Right. That's right. So Paulie causes issues for these two, and that's kind of hinted at with this conversation. And then Rocky comes out to the bed, lays down next to her, and Adrian says, "Hey, you gonna really fight that wrestler?" And he says, "That's all right. It'll be fun."
Yeah. He has no idea what's coming.
Those segues are hilarious. The segue is hilarious because they go from talking about Paulie, then she asks about the wrestler, and then he goes, "You mind if I serenade you?"
Yeah, well, you think he's trying to get laid? I think he is. I think he wants to de-stress from that fight, have some intimate time. He's showing off the bod here, and I think he figures his next move is a little bit of serenading. That's my theory, at least. And
sure. What I love is that he's still good to go here. I mean, this is what 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Although I guess if he doesn't have to work in the morning, I guess he kind of does, actually. He has to go fight Thunderlips, but he's obviously none too stressed about that. But
yeah, are we to believe? I guess we're to believe in the timeline of the movie that the charity match is taking place immediately after the scene, but we can assume that this could be a week before the fight, 2 weeks before the charity fight. But
sure, that's a good point.
But if but it's not presented that way. It is kind of presented that he bails Paulie out of jail to 2 or 3 in the morning. He gets home, has a conversation with Adrian, and he's so awake, it's so good to go that he's like so non-stressed about fighting Thunderlips that he's like, let me serenade you. And this is where he goes into the famous do.
Hold on, Ryan. I wrote something down and I was watching this just 10 minutes ago. She tries to get out of this. The serenading. She tries to make up an excuse, which makes no sense.
Yeah, she says. Okay, so go ahead. Yes.
quiet, Rocky. You're going to wake the baby. Now, two things here. Two things. One, there's no baby. That kid can talk and walk around. So,
anytime your child can wipe its own bum properly and pour its own bowl of cereal properly, it's good to go.
If that kid can pick dogs or horses at the track, which we learned it will. Anyways, the second thing is that house is ginormous. So I'm sure the kid's room is not that close by, probably. And they probably have a nanny or something for him. So that's just bullshit. Sorry for the language. Yeah, not buying that, Adrian. Rocky walks right through that. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care if it wakes the kid.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, she goes, what are you doing? Come on. And then he goes, come on, you can do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I love how, I love how when she tries to do it, she goes, do. It's like, okay, so let's just pretend for a second. Let's role play here for a second, Kyle. Okay.
Are you Rocky?
Well, no, I'm Ryan and you're Kyle.
Okay.
We're just gonna role play here. Okay. Hey,
right.
Kyle, do you mind if I serenade you?
Not at all, Ryan. Not at all. I was hoping you would.
Okay, and I want you to repeat back the serenade that I've given you. And now you've never heard the song before, but let's see if you could do it. Want to play along?
Okay, I'm feeling a little pressure, but sure.
Okay. Fi. Fee.
You mean fi.
It's like all you have to do is phonetically repeat what I've just said. She's incapable of it's okay if you can't sing or don't know the song, but if I say do, and then you come back and go dip, dup, dump. It's like,
you know what Rocky should have said to her? This is exactly what Rocky should have said to her at this exact moment. And he missed this big time. He should have been like, it looks like you're the one that can't sing or dance.
Yeah, touche.
But that'd be mean. That would ruin his chances at his ultimate objective here. I was gonna mention something and it just slipped my mind. Oh, shoot.
See, you got a second.
Anyways, continue. I'm sure I'll remember it later. I was gonna say something else about this scene. This is bad podcasting. Anyways, let's just keep going.
No, you're doing fine. Remember, this is live. This is raw and terrible.
That's right.
This is all edited, man. That's what I always tell them. Even when I have guests and when I do interviews with people, that's always the thing I tell them too.
I remember now.
Yeah, I'm just chill. Relax. It's okay.
So I think it's funny that he's singing this particular song. Because this is a song he just heard some guy sing on the street in the first movie. And so maybe it's not like it's a popular song. It's presumably a song that guy made up.
Well, okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, keep going. Let's talk about that. Because the Rocky character is singing a song from the movie soundtrack. Now, you could argue, but the song doesn't exist outside the movie. In the movie world.
No.
But correction. The song exists in the movie universe, but it exists as a song sung by street people around a burning barrel in the corner of Philadelphia.
Which arguably is what Rocky's most familiar with, but that's one of many songs. Now, the real reason this song was sung, I think we both know why, is I think Sylvester Stallone's mission is to try and make his brother as successful as he possibly can. That song I checked. That song was written by Frank Stallone, performed by Frank Stallone in the first movie. Frank Stallone will appear later in this movie.
Yes, he will.
I don't know if you guys talked to it before, but they tried to get Frank Stallone to be one of the title defenses against Rocky in that opening clip.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't talked about that, but on that same vein, there's actually, if you go on YouTube, there is video.
I've seen Stallone.
Yeah, Stallone and Stallone.
Yeah.
Frank and Sly duking it out. Apparently got pretty serious. Got kind of heated there.
Yeah, well, the one I saw was Frank was just going crazy at him in the corner, and then Sly just hit him once and he went down. That's the one I saw, but yeah, so it seems to be that nothing against Frank Stallone. Like I think he's a talented musician. Seems like a nice guy in all the interviews I've been in, or I've seen him on. But he has an awfully big shadow next to him in his brother, and I think his brother's trying to help him get big, but it's
well, yeah, sure, and that's understandable.
Business, right?
Well, he's family, loves his brother, and I think they really do love each other. Like on Instagram, even at their age, you see them on Instagram together at each other's house, hanging out. So Stallone Sly has always been there for his brother, but to be fair, Frank has a pretty comparably successful singing career to a lot of artists out there. Like if he goes on tour, people show up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Frank, if say Sly didn't exist, and Frank Stallone had the exact same career he does now, then it'd be pretty impressive, right? But the thing is because you have that last name, you're automatically compared to your brother.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, well, you're not nearly as successful as him. Well, most people aren't. Like a very small handful of people would be. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't want to take a dig at Frank necessarily, but
no.
Just in case Frank's watching, obviously.
Oh, of course he's watching. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate your support. So, Rocky is now correcting Adrian, saying that's good, but it's not do. He goes, it's do, and then he's like, no, that's you. And she's so crazy shy. Like I get being shy. Look, to be fair, I don't think Becky, my wife, would sing with me. Like she's kind of shy that way too. I don't think she would just be like, "Hey Ryan, I'm going to sing back to you." So it's not for everyone to sing. So, she's not comfortable singing.
Hey, one sec, Ryan. Hey, Brittany. Yeah. Do you be a very temporary guest on the podcast? Just for 2 seconds. Okay. We're going to do a little experiment, okay?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, it is, but you won't be seen, okay? Okay. So my wife's in her pajamas, so I'm not going to show her on the podcast.
Well, Adrian's in her pajamas, too.
True. Brittany, I'm going to sing something to you. I'm wondering if you could do your very best to sing it back to me.
Does she understand the rules?
Let's sing it. Yeah, you have to just repeat after me. Just very, very quickly. Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
She wins. She wins. All right, thanks, Brett. Appreciate that.
So she's never,
You did. You passed.
That's great. So she did go do 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 do.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that.
Imagine if she did do 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 do. I would have jumped off my seat.
Yeah, I would have, because she doesn't. I've made her watch the first movie, but I don't think she's watched any of the other ones. So it wouldn't be like she's just doing it to play along either. It would have been legit.
Her instinct was to go do 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 do, but she actually just repeated phonetically what you said to her.
I actually had it written down here, do 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 do, with the phonetic thing, just to make sure she'd get it right. I just use the pajamas as an excuse.
That's awesome. All right. So let's go back to the movie here. So many tabs here.
Oh yeah, and then after that, he sings a little bit, and then says how he forgot the words to the right. He says, "I forgot the rest of the composition."
Yeah, he gets to take me back like before, and she goes, "What's the matter?"
Yeah,
I don't know any more of the composition.
Yeah. And then she says, which I think she's changing the subject, but she's like, "We're very lucky." But she could mean that they're very lucky they don't have to keep singing that. I don't know.
I think she's saying, I think she's playing along saying, we're lucky that you have forgotten, so I don't have to hear you sing. You don't make me sing, and we can just move on. But then Rocky gives one more romantic do just before he starts macking out with her.
The Rocky strategy seemed to have worked.
Oh, you know what?
Have,
He's not
sorry.
called he's not called the Stallion because of his strength in the ring. It's his.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All right, here's a little bit of trivia. What charity was the was Rocky wrestling for?
Oh man, I don't know.
Well, I know because I'm looking right at it. The Youth League benefit.
I was gonna say something about kids, frick, but no, I wouldn't have guessed that specifically. No.
I love how it's the Youth League. Like, hey, what, where are you going tonight? Oh, me and Charlie, we're headed over to the Youth League.
Yeah.
Like, what do? Are they just a league of youth?
In New York, it'd be the Ute League.
Is this? I don't understand what that means. Youth League.
Maybe it's like the YMCA or something like that.
Guess
You know,
so.
it's yeah.
So this says here
I don't avoid copyright infringement.
Yeah, right. It says here that the Youth League benefit presents Battle of Champions, Rocky Balboa versus Thunderlips, and they have here Thunderlips as being one word, by the way, one word, Thunderlips. Yeah. So we have Dennis James.
I was not aware of that.
So at ringside, we have Dennis James with Jim Healy.
Yeah, what happened to Bill Baldwin and Stu Nahan? Maybe that's just too lowbrow for them to them to comment on, because they were there for the Clubber Lang fight.
Yeah, yeah, this is a different event. I mean, it might involve Rocky Balboa, but it's not commissioned by the boxing people. So we know that all the
and then you have that announcer guy too, though. He's like right beside them. He has like the really crazy mustache.
Yes.
And you see him in the next movie.
Yeah, I guess he's, the job's a job, right? He'll announce the Youth League benefit, and he'll also announce the championship match. So all the proceeds are going to charity.
So Rocky's not making a dime off this.
No, all the proceeds go to charity. And we got Rocky in the ring. He's cheering to the crowd. He's waving. He's having. You can tell on his face he's here for a good time. He's here for the youth. He's here for his community. Just to put on a little bit of show here.
Yeah, he's not worried at all. He just thinks it's probably this did happen in real life, which maybe it has. I don't know, but if it did, I'm sure they'd just be goofing around, right? It would be nothing like what we're going to see here.
Yeah, they're definitely just goofing around. So Adrian's looking pretty as always in the at ringside with their son Robert Jr. And the announcers.
Baby.
Yeah, well, he's not a baby, but he's between 4 and 6. I would say he's between 4 and 6. I don't know if.
Well, I gotta say, Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you know this about Robert Balboa, but he has some properties where he can change age very quickly. So he could be a baby one moment and then 4 or 5 years older, just at a different moment.
Right. Well,
almost like a Benjamin Button type of thing.
That's true. The Rocky's kid does age very weirdly in this series, but so far the first 3, it's pretty spot on.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm just making fun a little bit.
No, but the biggest jump, as we know, and I can't wait to talk about it, the biggest jump, of course, will be from 4 to 5. That was I always say that's one long layover between flying from Russia back to California.
Definitely. No, never mind.
Okay, so
he doesn't live in California. He stays in Philly.
Now, we talked about in one of our earlier podcasts, but the actor that played the son, do you know about him?
Which, like in this movie or in 5?
No, in this movie, the child actor that plays Rocky or Robert Jr.
No, I don't know anything about this kid.
Yeah, well, she is our age.
She transgender?
Yeah. So the actor has transgender. Robert Jr. is now Roberta Jr. Sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How old? I guess it'd be.
Well, actually, we want to get her on our podcast. I haven't contacted her yet, so actually seeing this reminds me. I actually want to get her on the show because, one, I want to talk about her experience as a child being on the set of Rocky 3 and being around Stallone and Mr. T and everything. And because she's actually my age.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And her name now, I think, is Ina Fried instead of Ian Fried. So she just changed the letters around. So, yeah, anyways, little side note there. So every time I see the boy actor, I always think, oh, yeah, she's Robert Jr. is now, of course, a female. So it's pretty cool. All right. So Rocky's in the ring. And the question by the announcers is, sorry. Let me just collect my thoughts here. Yeah, they ask, what's the outcome for this match? The wrestler versus the boxer. What's the outcome going to be?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, well, the age-old theory is, which I guess it's been discussed.
Okay, I love it. The age-old theory. There's been like a fighters guild where they discuss
is once the wrestler gets a hold of the boxer, then that's the end, or there she wrote, or something like that.
That's so interesting. Now, here's something you're going to find interesting. This is going to go way over everyone's head, but just remind me to get back to you. Do you remember I think it was Rocky 1 or 2, there's that lady, you see the crowd shot? Watch me here, Kyle. There's a lady wearing a weird hat, and I think it's a stock video of the crowd, and she's going, yeah, yeah, yeah. In Rocky 1 or 2, anyways, I'm going to find it for you.
Old Italian lady? Is she like older lady? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
She's in Rocky 3 as well.
Oh, I want to say something. Speaking of the audience, I don't know if I'm saying this too soon, but we see Clubber Lang in the audience watching the fight.
Yeah, he's in the beginning montage. We talked about that he's in the beginning montage. So he's definitely
he's in the audience of this fight.
Yeah, well, he's stalking.
He watches all of Rocky's fights live in person, so he's kind of stalking him. But I noticed something interesting about Clubber here. He's like, am I going too far? Am I too ahead here?
Well, no, I haven't gone to that yet. They just finished the theory.
Okay, never mind. I'll just comment about once we see him. I want to make an observation there too.
Okay, so Mickey now asks Rocky, "What the hell goes on inside your head? Anything normal?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love how he's choosing now to have this argument with Rocky in the ring.
Yeah, well, he says I can't remember what it is, or I know you can see the caption, but like he says something that's not like proper English.
Well, yeah, I'll see if it comes up. But he's talking now. He goes, "I've seen wrestlers that were bigger than dinosaurs."
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey obviously doesn't have much faith. No one really. It seems like Rocky's the only one that doesn't know what's going to happen. Seems like everyone else knows. Like the announcer knows, Mickey knows, Paulie soon knows.
He's like, "You ever fight a dinosaur? They can cause a variety of damage." Yeah.
Yeah.
Now these lines by Mickey, they're so great. How he delivers them, and I always wonder though, is this all Stallone's writing, or is this Burgess Meredith winging some things? I really want to know which is which, or is it a bit of both.
Well, I think this sounds like Stallone. That's kind of almost the way Rocky talks too. He says variety like that in one of the films. Something like a large variety of dogs or something like that, or he says large variety of something.
Okay.
Earlier in one of the two films, so I'm thinking that's probably Stallone writing the script.
Oh, okay. So now Thunderlips has entered the ring. Now keep in mind, now we'll talk about it. The actor, the actor playing Thunderlips is playing a wrestler, and he's a wrestler in real life. Obviously, we're talking about Hulk Hogan. Now this was 1982, so this was 35 years ago. So
there's some stuff around this. I forgot.
How old was Hulk Hogan in 82? Let's find out.
He would have been about 30 or so. I think he was born in the 50s sometime. So
yeah, he was born in
late
53. So he was 29 years old here.
Yeah. Which he looks older than that, but that's kind of what we were saying. People in the past looked older, it seems.
It is weird. Yeah, like he's 12 years. Okay, look at my face. Look at my beautiful face. Now think of Thunderlips in Rocky 3. This face that you're seeing now is 12 years older than Thunder Lips.
Yeah, you guys look about the same age. Really, like you look similar.
It's wild.
Maybe he looks a little older because of the mustache. But I'm 33, so he'd be like I'd even be a few years older than he would be in that scene. So I don't know.
Hey, one sec.
Anyway, so Paulie sees Thunderlips in the crowd, and he's like, "Why are they carrying him?" And Mick's like, "They're not. He's walking."
Yeah, I love that. One sec. What is going on here? The camera's not switching back and forth. It's okay. Our one viewer, it's okay. They've been looking at me while you talk, and you talk while you're looking at me. But I don't know what is going on here.
Matt, viewer, whoever you are, thanks for your patience, bro or sis.
Yeah. Well, whoever
Appreciate
watches. Well, I've messed up.
on.
It's not automatically going back and forth to whoever's talking. That's the problem. I don't know how to default it.
Shucks.
Test.
Well, maybe I'll talk. While you're figuring out, I'll say a couple things about Thunderlips here.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about Thunderlips.
So he has kind of he's disliked by the crowd. Oops, sorry, I dropped my phone here. He's disliked by the crowd. Everyone's booing him, and he seems to enjoy that. I think he likes being the villain. He has his entourage of ladies with him who are very good looking. His persona is kind of like almost kind of like a sex thing, which is weird for a wrestler. Like it's Thunder Lips, and then he's like, he said something sexual when he went up to the mic to announce himself. Like it's kind of odd.
Yeah, he goes. Okay, one sec. Well, let's first talk about his name, Thunder Lips. I mean, it's a horrible name. Let's just
yeah. Yeah, it's really bizarre. I used to watch what was WWF as a kid. I don't remember any characters with names like that, unless they're one of those ones that you never heard of that were obviously there to lose, which some of Hulk Hogan's caliber certainly wouldn't be.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan at this time is 29 years old, and I don't think during the filming of this film, I don't think he had or very close to being. He wasn't quite the Hulk that we know today. I think now. Of course, there's gonna be some wrestling fanatics out there, but I know when the movie was released, he was big. But you have to keep in mind, films are usually filmed a year to year, almost a year and a bit before they're released. So I think principal photography when it took place. When Hogan first joined the wrestling world, he was actually a heel. He was a bad guy. And so in this movie...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so in this movie, he plays a heel. So I remember when I was a kid, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. And so when I saw him coming out playing Thunder Lips, I remember being like, that kind of sucks. He's not the wrestler. He's not Hulk Hogan. He's Thunder Lips. He's a pretend wrestler, ironically. Yeah. And I remember...
Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, so it's fine. So I remember when he came out and then he was bad, like kind of a jerk. Even as a kid, I knew that I didn't get the sexualization that he was doing because I was a kid. But I knew that he was kind of whatever my brain as a kid could understand, that he was a jerk. He wasn't very nice. He seemed really angry and wanted to hurt Rocky. I didn't understand that. So I remember even as a kid being disappointed a little bit that my hero in wrestling that I thought was real and all that stuff at the time was kind of a jerk to my other hero, which was Rocky.
Yeah, that's kind of two competing, clashing worlds for you. And I guess I didn't research this right before we did the podcast here, so my memory's foggy. But if I recall correctly, Vince McMahon, when he saw this come out, was pissed. He did not like that Hulk Hogan did this. And I think there was some sort of reciprocity or consequence to it.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we're talking about. Yeah, that as a kid, that's maybe what it was. Maybe because at this time, Hulkamania was running wild. He was saying your prayers, eat your vitamins. And so maybe that's part of what it was, is to see basically his number one guy basically the #1 movie in America, being a jerk when on screen, Saturday night's main event every Saturday, Hulk Hogan was supposed to be a good guy. So maybe that's probably what the conflict might have been that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wish I would have looked at it. I just forgot totally. What do you got to do?
I forgive you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, let's get to the actual. Well, he comes out. And everyone's booing. Everyone's booing Thunderlips, and Mickey say, "Let's call it off." And then Rocky's like, come on, it's for charity, man. Let's relax."
Yeah, I love this scene. I love this lines.
And so Thunderlips comes out. Thunderlips is coming out there. I'm coming after you, Balboa.
Yeah. It's like, and then Mick's like, "Why are we gonna do this for charity? No one else does this for charity." And then he's like, "Bob Hope would." And Mickey's like, "Yeah, it's true." He seemed kind of surprised that Rocky said that. I almost wonder if that was like, I don't know, ad-libbed or something.
Well, I've
seems like it wouldn't be that.
I've always wondered about for these movies. And movies in general, there is a lot of ad-lib. Like, everything we see is not the first take. There is dialogue that they memorize, but the actors are just people who get bored on set. Who knows what kind of banter they have. And when Rocky says Bob Hopewood, I love Mickey's expressions like, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. Which is, you don't hear Mickey say stuff like that very often.
So the announcer says, "Here comes Thunderlips. What a sight. All decked out in red." What a description for the audience. All decked out in red. So he's got this big...
Bill Baldwin and Stu Nahan are running the show here. They would have said something way cooler than this.
Very true. And
this is definitely the B team announcers here.
His robe is horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's got the big silver lips on the back of his red robe.
It's like, just put a vagina on the back of that thing. You might as well just get away.
See, that's the part that we have for the PG
no,
audio.
you keep that in. I said the correct term. I didn't say it's a pussy or something like that.
Terrible. But just
giving Ryan some editing work.
Yeah, thank you. And then so Thunderlips goes, what do you say? It goes, here you go. Someone yelled, okay, right here. I gotta screen capture this. So that's great. So Thunderlips opens up his robe wide like this.
Yeah.
And then somebody in the audience yells, "He's a flasher!"
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's what I love about the closed captioning. You get some of the post dialogue, like the post recording dialogue.
Yeah.
So the crowd yells, "He's a flasher!" Oh, I love it. Saving that right now. That's fantastic. So before we get...
Oh, it says welcome to my love slaves out there.
That's right. To all my love slaves out there. Thunderlips is here.
It seems like a rapist or something.
Oh, this is. When I told people that we'd be doing the charity match for one episode, they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "There's so much to talk about. How can you not?" So, Thunderlips is here in the flesh, baby. I love how
he's probably just going to jail for rape or something.
And then you have Adrian, oh my G, in the crowd.
Yeah. She's realized her husband's gonna get mangled.
Well, I think it's a combination that she's both in shock and awe of this massive male. She's like, I gotta fear this guy, but hey, Thunderlips is in the flesh, baby.
This is a possible cuckold situation, right?
Oh, stop! This is terrible.
I'm getting lots of editing work.
Then we got the ultimate male versus
the ultimate meatball.
Oh, I love it because he's Italian. You get it? He's Italian.
Yeah, I honestly didn't make the Italian connection until just now. Just till you said
serious?
That.
You're joking.
Yes. I feel really dense. I feel like it's like when you said that, I'm like, you really should have known, Kyle. You should have known.
That is crazy. Are you serious? You never... I think even as a kid, I got the joke.
I know. I know, Ryan. I'm so. I
Okay.
don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
That is embarrassing. Wow. Let it be said that Kyle, the Rocky fanatic, didn't catch the Italian meatball combination. Oh,
Maybe I'm so pure, Ryan. I'm so pure that
sure.
racist stereotypes just go right over my head.
Yeah, but don't let that stop you with the Thunder Lips.
Yeah. Oh, I can go all day about that stuff.
All right. So then they got the announcers. You know, everyone's just having a good time. The announcers saying, "How much would you take to even get in the ring with them?"
Would you start at Fort Knox?
That's so stupid. Okay, how much is Fort Knox worth? I don't even know. What's in Fort Knox?
Okay, that's where the United States' gold reserves are kept. It's in Kentucky. And so, like, all their gold bullion, like, literally tons and tons and tons of gold.
Okay, so this
announcers right now.
Okay, so there's currently 147 million ounces of gold in Fort Knox right now. That's about 260.
Gold is currently priced. Gold's currently priced at about $12.80 an ounce.
Yeah, so there's about $2.5 billion. Sorry, $250 billion of gold in Fort Knox.
So I'd get my ass kicked by Thunder Lips for that. I'd be willing to do that.
I would actually go a lot less. You don't have. Would you start at Fort Knox?
Yeah, I won't tell you what I do with Thunder Lips for that amount of money. But
okay, it's just terrible. Okay, so yeah. So, anyways, to go on with what I find interesting though, can we say this is the first MMA fight that we've ever seen?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I feel bad that Rocky's wearing gloves.
Yeah, he is wearing
a bad
gloves.
move.
Well, because it's a charity fight, so I think the idea is, the idea behind this is that it's I'm fighting in my element. My element is, I'm a boxer.
Yeah.
I come with the boxing gloves. And then, of course, the wrestler's coming out with his wrestling entourage, the girls. That's his gimmick. His gimmick is he's like there was that guy in WWE later, the pimp, whatever, the Mac Daddy pimp or whatever wrestler.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I lost interest in wrestling, so I didn't follow it to that.
Well, this was in the mid to late '90s. I forget his name, but he was like, and his girls were called the Hoe Train.
Oh my god.
So Thunderlips actually had his own train of females coming out with him, but he didn't call them that in this movie. This movie's still PG. But yeah, that was the attitude era of wrestling in the late 90s. But anyway, so okay, where are we at the fight now? The fight hasn't even started yet, Kyle. This is crazy. Okay, where are we?
Have they showed Clubber Lang yet?
No, they haven't. Let me just get to it.
Man.
Well, there's a lot going on. So in the white corner, at an incredible sight, standing nearly 7 feet.
Nearly 7 feet. So I'm 6 feet, so he's a foot taller than me. I could and so 390 pounds.
That's right. 390 pounds. That is a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's he's almost twice Rocky's weight.
And now he says the biggest arm in the world as he kisses his bicep.
I think he's a little exaggerating a little bit.
But you have to remember, when I was a kid when this came out, and I remember telling everyone, Hulk Hogan has the biggest arms in the world. Like, you have to understand, when I'm a kid, I believe they're telling the truth about some things in their life. So when he's saying that he has the biggest arm in the world, to you. Well, he would talk about that. Yet. I think he would talk about that even in the wrestling ring. He'd talk about his 22-inch biceps or whatever.
22 inches is a lot. I don't know what mine is, but certainly not 22 inches.
No, yeah, my pipes are about, yeah. So the announcers say, a man who calls himself the ultimate object of desire.
What? The sex thing is so weird. Like,
Or not done yet. He's the mountain of molten lust.
So it's clear right now Thunderlips is a sex addict. There's no way around it. Potentially, he's a criminal.
He's a mountain of molten lust. Come on, that's pretty good. Like when Stallone was writing these nicknames for Thunderlips, I wonder if he was hearkening back to his party at Kitty and Stud days.
Yeah, don't get it. Oh man, well, it is like a mountain. It's like a volcano, just waiting to explode, right?
I know. That's what I'm thinking about. He's a mountain of molten lust. Like there's no innuendo whatsoever.
None. I can't think of any.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So then Thunderlips kisses the sky after he's announced, and he yells at the crowd, "You're all trash! You're all trash!" It's like, what? I love it. And then in the far corner, the Slugger from Philadelphia, and the crowd goes wild. And of course, when the crowd goes wild for Rocky, Thunderlips goes insane. He gets angry. How can they cheer for Rocky? He goes, "You better shut up."
I'm going to break him in half like this. And then Rocky's like, "Hey, how much do you think he eats?"
That's right.
He's talking about Thunderlips. And then Mickey's like, about 202 pounds.
That's right, because the announcer's about to say, in this corner, weighing 202 pounds, the timing could have been more perfect.
And then Mickey's like, "Oh yeah, I'm right."
He was pretty proud of himself with that.
Yeah.
So Stallone here is looking incredibly in shape. It's amazing the shape he's in.
It's like a gigantic, which is interesting because his fighting weight in the second movie was identical at 202 pounds. So he hasn't lost or gained any weight, but his physique is completely changed. I don't know what his actual weight is, like if the Stallone's weight was when he did this. I'm sure it was different though than in the second movie.
Yeah, he was probably. I don't think he was as heavy as they were saying in this movie.
Yeah, and they kind of allude to that in the film about how he slimmed down a lot,
right?
Because sorry to a little spoiler, in the second fight he slims down to 190 pounds, which barely makes him a heavyweight.
No spoiler there. That's fine. So now we get our first sighting of Clubber Lang.
Okay, so
it was just after Rocky Balboa's announcement that they showed Clubber. Now, what I love about Clubber is he's dressed. He's dressed for the event.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's in a tuxedo. Not just like in a suit or something, but like he looks like he's going to a wedding or something like that. It's like a wrestling match.
Well, I love how it's a charity event. And here's a guy who's like, you got the feeling he's kind of poor, like he doesn't have a lot of money. But we saw during the opening montage, he went to like 6 championship fights. Those can't cost a pretty penny to watch Rocky in the ring. And now he wasn't in talks. No, but I mean, but we see that he's got money for championship fights to attend all those, and they weren't all local.
And he had to travel.
Yeah,
he lives in Chicago. And a lot of these fights were in New York. They show things of like Radio City Music Hall and other New York landmarks. But when you're having these fights, right? So probably none of those fights. Oh, some was in Caesar's Palace in Vegas. So Clubber would have had to hit the road, unless he had a fight already in one of these cities. But whatever. It's just a movie.
All right, so now we've got that infamous scene where Rocky and Thunderlips meet each other in the center of the ring.
Yeah, and Thunderlips. Oh well, actually, oh never mind. Yeah, they haven't actually started fighting yet, right? They're just they're touching gloves or whatever.
Yeah, this is where the refs give him the rules. And what I love is, like, we often see Stallone kind of filmed in a way to make him not seem so short with his co-stars.
Yeah. But he's 5'9". So.
Yeah, so in this scene, they totally play to Stallone being shorter to make Thunderlips seem that much more of an opposing giant.
Yeah. And is Hulk Hogan really near 7 feet tall?
I don't think he's 5 feet tall.
Well, no, what?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, he's probably closer to 7 feet than he is to 5 feet.
Well, I know that, but I'm curious to see like if Hulk Hogan is 7 feet tall and Rocky's 5'9", that's a massive height difference. Like,
He is exactly 2 meters tall.
okay, so he's 6'6" or 6'7".
6'7". Good job. Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah.
So if he's wearing boots, he can be about 6'9". So 6'8".
So pretty tall compared. So he's about a foot taller than Rocky.
Yeah,
And about 100 pounds heavier.
and in real life.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say in real life that is quite a difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be like me fighting like some 12-year-old who's like super skinny, right? Like it wouldn't go well.
So I've got a picture here of I'm gonna post some pictures later, but something's going on with Hogan's hair here at the top of his head. It's really odd.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a carpet.
His hair is like,
Seriously, it's weird.
his hair seemed really thin and straightened in this scene, if I remember right.
Maybe it's just
Not a hair guy, but
oh, it might be just the lighting. But yeah, goes, "You're in trouble, Buster." That's what he told him. I'm gonna break him in half like this. So he pushes it.
Yeah.
Rocky goes, "Seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up."
oh, and then he said earlier too. He's like, "Hey, I was wondering if we can like get a Polaroid or something like that."
Yeah,
and then he shoves Rocky into his corner, and that's why Rocky says, "Looks like everyone's wanting to beat me up."
So this is the advice Mickey gives: stay away, make faces, move around the ring. Got it, kid?
Hey, you know what? Actually, this is a good foreshadowing for Mickey's advice for the subsequent fight.
How so?
Well, Mr. Clubber Lang, as people might guess from his the fights they showed there, is utterly devastating toe to toe. So you'd have to, in order to effectively fight him, you'd have to have greater movement, stay out of his way, get out of his range. And you basically would have to do something similar with Thunderlips here because it's someone who's much larger and more powerful than you are.
Yeah, we won't get too much into that, but yeah, you're right. So that's the same strategy that he'll use later, absolutely. And then, of course, Paulie says, he is the ring.
Yeah, which I think is a stupid comment. Just Paulie's being dumb.
And then another great line is Mickey says, "I get nervous every time he does that when Rocky prays in the corner." So we're just getting one.
Which is every fight.
Yeah, so we're just getting one line after another. That's what I mean. Rocky 3 is kind of a short film, but there's like so much that happens so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of one-liners and stuff like that, I think.
So now the bell rings. Finally, the match starts. And Thunderlips right away comes charging at Rocky to smash in the back of the head with his arms. And Rocky just gets out of the way. But Paulie gets kind of hit and falls out of the ring.
Yeah, it seems like Thunderlips hit that thing so hard it was going to come off. Like he was really like you see how like that's ingenious that they use that as the first part because you immediately see how powerful he is.
Oh,
he's like a bull. He's big. There's a difference in seeing how big someone is, and then you see that in motion. Like not only is he big, but he's agile. He moves fast. Like he went across that ring real quick.
Absolutely. Now
a lot of force, right? Like you get pretty intimidated at this point.
Rocky's like, listen, we'll just move around the ring a little bit, give them a good show. We'll take it easy. You move pretty fast for a big guy, but let's just put on a good show.
He gives these little punches to his chest. And you could see like his chest muscle wiggling.
He's like, first I'll chase you, then you chase me. So he's trying to give Thunderlips a couple of like choreography type tip fights to get around the ring and to put on a good show for the fans.
Yeah, Rocky, I'm not giving him much credit here. Like the whole time he thinks it's a joke, and I can support that at the beginning because you probably would think it's just pretty chill. But you'd think after him like smashing into the corner like that, you'd get the idea that like you better be careful around this guy.
Yeah. So now, okay, now let's just talk. It's going to be hard for us to talk verbatim about what's going on here. But now, poop hits the fan for Rocky. He does a couple little shots to Thunderlip's chest. You know, does that hurt? Is that okay? Is that too hard? And Thunderlips then just grabs him and clobbers him in the back. And you actually see here just really the size difference between Hogan and Stallone. And second point I want to make is, and I'll just tell anyone who hasn't seen this film, it's kind of obvious everyone has listening to this podcast, but Stallone does his quote-unquote stunts. That's Stallone getting chucked around the way. Any way you want to cut it, he's getting lifted up, he's getting suplex, he's getting body slammed, and even that backbreaker shot they do, like he bends pretty good there.
Apparently that like put him in, that messed him up pretty bad, that backbreaker one I was reading about.
It's hard to watch. So
yeah, well, they make a cracking sound effect too, right? But it probably actually did sound something like that.
So now he's getting clobbered, and this is where Thunderlips goes, think it's all fake, Meatball? All fake?
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about that because I'm glad you have the captions on, because what I heard when I was watching it is it's all fake, Meatball, it's all fake. I didn't understand that. I'm like, it doesn't look fake, but then think it's all fake makes way more sense.
Which I find interesting because nowhere has Rocky said to Thunderlips that it's fake, but this might have been the early days of kind of the exposure that wrestling is scripted. And not to get into too much into wrestling, but wrestling's only fake the way that a fixed boxing match is fake, meaning it's scripted in that you will be the winner, and I will be the loser, and I'll do my finishing move on you, and you go up for the pin count. But these guys, anyone that says these guys don't take hits, bumps, aren't athletes, are idiots. These guys are major athletes.
So they're incredibly athletic. A wrestling match like the WWE or WF, whatever it's called, like it's a performance.
Absolutely.
It's not like you said. It's not like a Olympic wrestling or a boxing match or something like that. But like these guys are incredible. They're doing things normal people couldn't do. They're slamming each other from the top ropes. They're doing all these things. Like you try and get fake clothesline by someone and your back hits the ground and not be winded.
Well, no, that's like, you can't put your arms behind you. Like when they get body slam, rule number one is it's called taking the bump, and you can't put your hands behind you when you get body slam. You'll break your arm at that velocity. Yeah. So they have to take the bump with their legs. You lift up your back, put your feet down a little bit, and you have to take the bump. But I guarantee if you have a 390-pound man lift you up over your head and throw you, it's going to hurt.
And you know what's funny? When I was watching this, there's a lot of times you can't see Stallone's face. So you're tempted to think maybe there was there could have been a stuntman, right? Now, I believe you that he did his own stunts.
I think knowing Stallone the way he is, every single thing in this, I'm pausing it right now. Like even when he just got thrown in the so Thunderlips throws Rocky into the turnbuckle and he yells, "Life's tough, Meatball," and he throws him into the turnbuckle, and that's Stallone's. I've got to pause right now, and that's Stallone's face. There's no CGI.
That's his face. No, yeah. I understand. There's certain other scenes though where his face isn't shown, but I still think it's him. But yeah, I'm just saying he had an out. He could have used a stuntman if he wanted to.
If he wanted to, but knowing Stallone, especially at that time, is like very, I would say very, yeah, the suplexes and stuff. Fair enough. You don't see his face, but it's just the way it's filmed, I think. So Rocky.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, Rocky's getting tossed around. So he's got the backbreaker. Yeah, I'll just tell people, go to that backbreaker scene. That's brutal. Paulie yells out.
That's messed up. I think that actually messed him up in real life. Like I'm pretty sure he broke a rib or something.
Yeah, so like he's getting destroyed. Like so when you watch this movie, it's kind of weird now because we know that the movie itself is scripted in the sense that but again, taking these hits and these falls for the actor Stallone, you still have a 390-pound man landing on you, throwing you around. And we know that Stallone is not opposed to getting hit and getting broken up in the ring for any movie. He's done it for so many movies. I'm surprised he's still alive sometimes. Yeah. But what's amazing though, within the film itself, Rocky himself is actually getting he's really getting hurt. Like in the movie.
Yeah, well, one of the announcers said one of the announcers is like, Balboa is really in pain.
Yeah.
He was almost surprised by that.
That's right. So the announcers are like, we know that wrestling's fake, but he's really in pain.
Hey, Ryan, just a second here. My power just went up 5%.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to run and grab my charger. If you just could stall for me for a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll keep talking to the audience here. So
yeah, go ahead.
The big I'll just talk to the audience. So the big backbreaker scene's coming up here, guys. And this is Thunderlips yells out, "If I can't break your spirit, I sure as heck can break your back." And if you want to think about it, that reminds me of when Bane broke Batman's back. I don't know. That's what I thought of. So he puts Rocky in a backbreaker. And, of course, this kid asks to Adrian, "Is Daddy having fun?" And Adrian goes, "Of course." And then Hogan, or I should say Thunderlips, does his famous finishing move, the leg drop. And then he does a suplex on Rocky. And this is a great sequence here because it's done in slow motion. Rocky's up in the air. He's getting suplex. And it's just a great scene. And then we have Thunderlips elbowing him in the back of the head. And that's what the announcer says. He's really in pain. And someone now the announcer says, "No one can believe the superhuman strength of Thunderlips." This is that great scene where you've got Stallone in the air being held up by Hogan, and I guess to Hogan that's a pretty lightweight compared to him. And Thunderlips yells out just before he throws Rocky out of the ring, "I am the man." And this now, you know what? Oh, here's another thing the captions capture that you don't hear if you're not listening. Thunderlips yells out, "You want this punching bag, Adrian?" Oh, no, sorry. He yells to the crowd, "You want this punching bag?" And then Rocky yells out, "Adrian."
Yeah.
And then Adrian yells, "Rocky." And then that's a great sequence there. Rocky is thrown into the crowd.
Yeah, and then Thunderlips doesn't just stay in the ring either. He's taking his fight out into the crowd too. So the match is no longer in the ring anymore. He's fighting security guys. One of the security guys gets punched in the face or in the head. And now he's in the audience looking to finish Balboa off.
So we'll wrap up this episode. I know we've talked a lot here because we hit our arm. We're trying to keep it at an hour. Oh, yes, buddy. Okay, well, I'm on camera right now, buddy.
No, Mommy said next time.
Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to the audience here.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about Hogan or Thunderlips doing destruction there to everybody while I floss my kids' teeth?
Yeah. Okay. I got this, bro. I can do this. All right, guys. So right now, Thunderlips, he's fighting with the security people who don't stand a chance. And then he gets into the audience. And so Rocky realizes that he has to do something to fight Thunderlips. And he calls Paulie over. And he's telling Paulie to take these gloves off. And so Paulie's trying to do this as fast as he can. He ends up... Luckily, Paulie has a switchblade. I don't know how he... Maybe he just carries a switchblade with him all the time. I don't know, kind of sketchy, but excuse me. He uses this switchblade to cut Rocky's gloves off, and then Rocky immediately gets back into the ring to challenge Thunderlips. Now Adrian is saying, "What are you doing?" Mickey's saying, "Are you nuts?" And we missed something big actually. One of the things that happened when Thunderlips went into the crowd and right before Rocky came back is Mickey seems to be suffering some kind of pain.
Yeah,
it looks like some heart pain.
Foreshadow. Yeah, the stress of the match is causing stress on his heart. You see the foreshadow of him clutching his chest. Oh, this is rough on me. Yeah.
Yeah, so Al Savani, the cut man, is the only guy that notices this. Rocky doesn't notice. The crowd either doesn't notice or doesn't care. But then Mick kind of pulls through as maybe some angina instead of a heart attack. And I could say that angina, Ryan. It's okay. That's different.
I know that's what it's called. It's called angina.
And so I don't know if you heard all what I was saying before, Ryan, but I was just talking about how Paulie cut Rocky's gloves off and Rocky was going back into the ring. And then Mickey and his wife are saying, like, what the hell are you doing? Are you nuts? Why are you fighting this guy?
Good recap. So now we've got basically, we'll cut this part short. It's pretty obvious. What we got is Rocky gets the gloves cut off. He goes in the ring. He says, hey, come on, come fight me. And then Thunderlips, I love how he goes to the ring and he slams his hands on the ring and it kind of shakes the whole arena. Yeah. It's like this superhuman strength. But what I love about this sequence is, and maybe this was where Vince McMahon was mad about, because Rocky body slams him.
But like, you mean throws him under the ring, or?
Yeah, because there was a time that, you know, to be body slammed or to be lifted was kind of like, if you were a wrestler that got lifted up, you're kind of like not a superhero anymore. And so I don't know, maybe having Hogan lifted up by a little Rocky, and then Rocky throws. I love how he throws Hogan or Thunderlips into the ring, and everyone just loves it. And I love, like, it says here, the human skyscraper has been thrown out of the ring by Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, and he barely got him out, which is I'm not criticizing. That's 400 pounds, so that's a lot to hold up.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's 390 pounds, and it's equivalent. Like, think about lifting up your own kid who's like 5 years old. Oh, you got a little bit of weight to you. You know, he's just a 5-year-old kid. Now try to lift up your teenager. Now try to lift up yourself, and then lift up something that's 150 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
So Stallone did that. He lifted Hogan up. I don't care how you cut it. There's no CGI, no wires there. He had it because he was struggling. The struggle was real. What you saw Stallone shaking there, it was a real effort.
No, props to Sly for that. That's a pretty impressive feat of strength.
And then I love how when Thunderlips gets thrown out of the ring, the bell rings. Like, that was the end of the fight. Like, okay, yeah, now Thunderlips got thrown out of the ring, we can call the fight.
Yeah, that guy's like, it's a draw, and then he like gets the hell out of there. Like, there wasn't any, ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision, or nothing like that. It was just like,
by the way, this was the 12th annual charity match.
So I wonder what they were doing before that. Was it always a boxer? Was Apollo ever in one of these?
Well, probably, maybe. Well, no, because this is Philadelphia. This is the Philadelphia Youth League. So this was the 12th one. So this would have started in 1970. These
Ryan, there's one thing we got to point out. The movie came out in 1982,
right?
But the movie is set in 1979. It's set 3 years after. 3 years after Rocky won the championship.
Right. Well, okay, no, because how soon after the rematch was the how many months after the rematch?
9 months after. Like 9 or 10 months.
So it would have been 70.
It's still in 76 because the first match was Jan 1, 76. It was New Year's Day.
Okay.
And that wasn't quite 77 yet when they fought. So, and then they reference 3 years all the time in this movie.
Right. So they're saying 3 years since Rocky 2, because that's how long it took to release the movie. But in 3 years of Rocky's life, it would only be, okay. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because like the second movie came out in 79. Even though it was supposed to be immediately after the first movie, so... Right. Yeah, they can't make movies in real time for that. So,
hey, I just want to thank our two viewers here. Thanks for watching, guys. We're almost done. So you went the distance. We're almost done. Just want to thank you. If you want to give a shout out on our live chat, say hi to see who it is. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we'll give you a shout out. So now Thunderlips comes over to Rocky and says, "Hey, good match." And Rocky goes, "Why'd you get so crazy on me out there?"
Yeah, that's not what I would have said to Thunderlips if I was Rocky. That was pretty gracious to say that.
And Thunderlips' response was, "That's the name of the game."
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I understand now. And they got the Polaroid that Rocky requested.
But yeah, they were doing selfies back then too. You know, can I have a picture with you? But it's just Polaroids. He goes, "While you're still calm." I love that.
Yeah. Oh, and you see Rocky's nose is bleeding a bit.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah.
While you're still calm, can we get that Polaroid together? And
yeah, it's like you're gonna fly off the handle any moment or something.
And I love how Thunderlips is like, "Yeah, sure," but he's thinking about it for a second. Now,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now, check this out. Now, come back and look at this. So after he says that's the name of the game, and Rocky says, "While you're still calm, can we get that Polaroid together?" Just to the left, Kyle, of the scene when he says, "Yeah, sure," Burgess Meredith, sorry, he is laughing so much.
I wonder if it's probably not supposed to be.
No, because it's just off screen. And I'm watching right now, and Burgess Meredith is just busting the gut. He's bent over laughing.
It could be a laughing heart attack, Ryan. You never know.
He just can't believe it. So Rocky says, "Adrian, come over here. My wife, Adrian, my kid." But Mickey's looking.
Oh, I love this interaction with the kid.
Anyways, you could tell that he's laughing off camera.
Like, ouch.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
Sorry. Say that part again. I apologize. I stepped on you.
So Rocky picks up his kid, and the kid's like, "Ouch, that hurts." He's like, "Yeah, that's okay, whatever."
His poor kid. Oh,
it's not like sorry or anything. It's just like, yeah, you'll be fine. You know, like man up a bit, okay? I know you're only 3, but
he goes, "That hurt." I love how they kept that in. Like they couldn't have edited out the that hurt. Like Stallone actually hurt the kid in real life.
Yeah, maybe that was Stallone just being a jerk to that kid. It'd be like, "Hey, we didn't pay you to say that."
He goes, sometimes charity really hurts.
Thunderlip smirks at that. He thinks that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Well,
he's like, "I wouldn't know, actually."
That, my friend, is the end of that charity match. The infamous, famous, whatever you want to call it. There's still more to talk about. I just don't want to bore our audience. There's so much to talk about in that match, but
Ryan, I believe it was last episode. I was surprised that you were planning to do the episode. Like you were referring to that earlier. I was like, "Oh, you'll get through the charity fight pretty quick," but you were right. You were right. That's a gold mine.
So here we go. Here, yeah. Thank you. So we have here Wednesday, May 15th. This took place. Oh, wow. Wednesday, May 13th or 15th, 1982. The Bulletin reported this. This is the Bulletin is dedicated to serving Greater Philadelphia and South Jersey. It has the results. Now check this out. Check this out. So it says Rocky and Thunderlips raised $75,000 for Youth Club.
That's it. So I guess if the newspaper says 82, then the movie technically takes place in 82. Then it's just that them saying 3 years is wrong.
Yeah, so that's what they were kind of treating the release of the movies with the same timeline as the Rocky universe.
Yeah, because it's like this happens again. You can edit this out, but like for example, Rocky 4 is supposed to happen in 84.
Yeah,
or 85. I can't remember. And it's like, Apollo, you've been retired 5 years, they say.
Right.
And Apollo would have been retired nearly 10 years at that point.
All right, so $75,000. That's it.
Now, $75,000 was more back then. That'd be more like $175,000 now, but still.
Yeah, fair enough. But what we talked about earlier in the other episode, me and Ruben, during the early montage, Rocky was part of a phone line charity, and they raised like $250,000 for that.
And that was significantly less physical trauma.
Yeah, no kidding. And then what I find interesting here is the text underneath the headline has nothing to do. The story, it says, until last year, Keystone had most of May to itself, but last season Monmouth opened May 1st, causing slight but painful drops in business and horse population at their quay. Keystone's management was annoyed, and there has been talk of... So anyways, the story underneath the headline has nothing to do with the headline.
The producers of this film did not anticipate people like you and me, Ryan.
No, they did not. So that is the end.
In the marvels of the internet.
That is the end, my friend. What do you think?
Good times.
Well, I told you that was going to take a whole episode. There's no way. In fact, we went a long time. Granted, we had about 15 minutes of technical error. So if you've gone the distance, thank you for going through that technical error. It looks like I figured it out at the end. But here we are. And
once you cut all my sex references, this episode should be like 45 minutes tops.
Well, it's not really your fault. It's actually kind of Thunderlip's fault.
It totally is.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, Kyle, thanks for coming on and filling in for Ruben. Again, Ruben wishes he could have been here. I always feel bad doing an episode without him. It's just, as you know, life is busy. You know, I'm a father of kids. You're a father and work, and I work, and he works, and we all have these different schedules. So I always want to try to get an episode out every week. So sometimes not everyone can be there, but he wishes us well, and he wishes he could be here. But Kyle, thank you so much. Do you want to take us out?
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it would have been a two-parter if Ruben was here.
Probably.
Anyways, farewell, folks. Have a good night. I'm bad at this crap with podcasts, so you're gonna have to take over.
No, you're supposed to go out with what's our signature to go out with?
I can't. What's it supposed to be? Oh, sorry. Yeah, ding, ding.
Oh my goodness! I got to get a new guest host. You're terrible. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody.